Hey everybody, Scott Travels. Today's Saturday the 30th. Wow, where's the month going? long week, long Thanksgiving weekend flying by. Let's see what's in the news today. A lot actually. Cruising changed in just 25 years, more now than ever before. So many people have polled about everything that's changed in the last 25 years. Most people agree with one thing: less formal nights at dinner. Uh, They also agree with more people, more cost here and there, and more crowded spaces, and more crowded everywhere, especially in the Caribbean. So, Scenic Eclipse 2. It's a small ship, arrives in Tarmac, New Zealand port. It's one of the first ships of the new season. New Zealand and Australia season starts now and runs till I think March. Most at the peak is for all of us Americans to be down there for New Year's Eve and see the fireworks over the bridge and the opera house in Australia before we head out on to our New Zealand adventure or Australian adventure. I've looked into that. It requires me to actually fly in, spend the night in Australia, get on one cruise ship, do the Australian part, come back to Australia, Sydney, and then go to a hotel for another day or two, and then get on the other cruise ship and do New Zealand and come back to Australia. Wow. How does that work? Because some companies are only doing Australia and some companies are only doing New Zealand, but from Australia. The most twisted part is the flight costs more than all of the entire rest of what I've just described, including hotel stays, two two cruises and 2.5 weeks worth of being there. I mean, there's something wrong in that formula. All the major cruise lines, Royal, Carnival, and NCL, are fighting over Mexico over new port tax. $42 per head, not person, head. That includes staff, captains, crew, seamen, everything. Everybody that's a person. And if the cat's a person or the dog's a person in some ships. I mean, wow. And the money doesn't even go to the port. It goes to, get this, the Mexican army. I wasn't sure there was a Mexican army, but I'll give a picture of what they look like. Freedom Land USA celebrating 65 years. It's a Bronx, New York theme park. It's not a very big theme park or big as anything, but I mean 65 years. Wow, good for them. Don't be not to be There's an article about not being in Orlando for Florida in the May of 2025. That's when the Universal Studios opens, the new park, and the demand and high traffic will be crazy at both parks, they feel. Though I feel that Disney will probably be empty and Universal will be fuller, but we'll see how that works. But the ticket selling for that weekend, May 22nd, is near sold out. So you only get one day in the new park. Here's a person says, she says, I've been going to Disney for 30 years. Did you go to Disney when you were 1 or 2? Or you're saying that you're 35? Because I was under the impression you were 30. Okay, well, we'll put that to the side. What she said she has learned: not to buy coffee. You can make coffee at the hotel room or get it at the restaurant in the hotel and bring it with you. Cheaper. Uh, get a rain jacket beforehand. Go and buy a poncho somewhere else and not the $17 Disney poncho. And of course, she likes to flex that she's a DVC member. DVC. That's Disney's Vacation Club. If you didn't know, those are the real flexors of travel people that will tell you, I'm a DVC member. Wow, I have a timeshare at Disney. I've been good. uh, so one family talked about how they use credit card perks and things to get to the theme parks, namely Universal. Basically, they use credit card perks and websites to stay at Orlando hotels, not the theme park hotels, which you can use as points and extra points back. Then they talked about using airline miles to fly everybody to Orlando. Then they talked about other airline bonus points and other stuff to buy tickets at other places like AARP or Costco or things like this, and then apply them to your thing, which is good. I mean, these are all valid ways to do it. I mean, you never hear anybody actually do it. You never hear of them using points and perks, and good job, people. And I have a story that says you can do it too, but most people probably wouldn't, or doesn't have the ability to do it like you did. But it was, yes, very good to save $50 per ticket for 3 days per person, and it adds up. And then tried to find stuff on eBay like, why buy a brand new wand at Harry Potter when you can get one selling one on eBay, and then it doesn't seem to work, and then you go back and have them repower it. I'm not even sure what that does, but they probably just swap it out for another wand of looks the same, and you'll never know the difference. Who knows, actually? I'll have to look further into that. I've never heard of repower the wand, but this is wow, it came across my desk today. Is the Tower of Terror in Florida Disney World up next on the chopping block? Wow. I mean, wow. Will it change the Guardian of the Galaxy, or will it be demolished and made into something else? More room for Monsters Inc. I mean, how much room do their fat asses need? And there's already tons of room. Why do you need to lock down so much place to do a monster area? There's plenty of room. I showed a picture the other day how much room there was that you could keep Tom Sawyer Island and cut the lawn and trees around it and have you walk around it, and you still have your whatever's replacing Tom Sawyer's Island that I'm not thrilled about either. Celebrity Cruises will port Canaveral starting December 3rd with a transatlantic ship will arrive there and will stay till April 2025. This is a test for them to see if the market will sustain them staying there at that port, because Miami and Fort Lauderdale are the two bigger ports and easier to get to, where even though Orlando is the official airport for Port Canaveral, or Cape Kennedy as it's often referred to, it's often an hour ride, and then cruise lines would have to supply a bus, and the bus, and it's a whole thing, and I mean, for me, it would be good because Orlando would be a cheaper flight. Yes, I would have to use the bus from the cruise line, but honestly, it would probably be cheaper or easier to deal with than trying to ride share one person. But you have to look into that yourself and calculate how much per person thing. But it would be good for me, and of course, you have to look at for yourself and see where what's best for you. Oh yes, of course, my favorite one. I had three people send this to me today. I don't even want to like show his little thing. All ears there. Oh, 30 years of Disney. It's not my Disney anymore. Why do they have to change it? It's a 5 minute read of a bitch fest of a guy who somehow is working for all ears. Now it's a 8 people who have a bitch fest about going to Disney every day instead of just the one person it was. And oh god, he's like, it never changed for 25 years. I loved it that way. Universal wiped out everyone, everything, threw everyone away, and changed it constantly. Now I don't like things like this because, it's like, well, change happens, and apparently I'm sorry that Disney didn't think to change for all of your life, apparently, and, you're whining, crying about it. So, I mean, I see a lot of these changes for good for the good or updating the park from its, ancient, past. Though, I mean, we could probably do without, Avatar, but, I'll probably get crap for that, saying that. But I mean, it would have been cool if it was, came out like a year after the movie, not 15 years after the movie. Disney. What takes you so long? Universal can turn it around in 2 to 3 years. Dollywood can turn around anything in 2 to 3 years.